What? Hello everyone, welcome back to another bingo match. I'm Fluffy and today I'm joined by Wolfie.
Hello.
So today our match is going to be the Forgotten versus the Custodian. So we'll get started by spinning the wheel. And we have Monk.
That's exciting.
It's got some very nice spawns. We should see some very quick goals here too, without having to worry about predators. Of course, the only issue is it could be a bit boring. People might want to see something more like Artificer or Rivulet.
Let's have slower matches here and there, though.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that even Spearmaster matches can be pretty slow from yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a pretty long one if we get Monk here, though. Personally, I'd really enjoy playing Rivulet or Saint for this. The extra movement options just make everything feel so much smoother. What about you? What would you prefer to be playing here?
I mean, I've only played like a couple of the Slugcats since I've been pretty slow in my own progress, but
Yeah, fair enough.
I did enjoy just like vanilla Survivor for a while.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's what everyone will be used to as well.
Yeah, it's a good middle ground. It's a good middle ground.
Yeah, not too weak, but not too crazy spawns.
Yes, Monk is very chill, easy to progress.
Yeah, I'd expect we'd see not too much
Monk
dying to predators, although there'll always be some. Hopefully we'll see some taming goals if we do get Monk, because, well, I don't think we've seen much taming lizards yet, and it would be good to see a bit of that.
It'll be fun. I like the lizards. Wonder if they'll take bigger risks with like more difficult to obtain lizards.
Maybe trying to cross more distance because of the predators being nicer. It's all about risk and reward for this rally. And both teams are okay with Monk, so we will go with Monk. So we just have to hope we don't spawn in the middle of unfortunate development with rot everywhere.
I mean, there's a couple of spawns, so I think it's pretty unlikely, but if we get unlucky, then...
There's always some pretty terrible options. Like, end of the memory crypt, middle of 5 pebbles. You could end up completely separated from the world. And here comes the bingo board. Oh, let's see what goals the players are going to be working on.
See an orange lizard right there.
Yep, we're taming the orange lizard. It's exactly what we want to see. We've got both do not enter industrial and do not enter garbage waste. That's a big section of the map cut off. Throwing a bomb at a black squid cader, that'll be fun as Monk. There aren't many bombs around.
See, you have to throw some rocks.
Yep. I believe that's in the top right, giving rocks to scavengers.
Looks like we also get to meet... Looks like we also get to meet some iterators.
Yeah,
that'll be
hopefully
interesting.
people will bring some pearls to Moon this time. We've got Shelter with Pearls and Shoreline. There's already a few around there. Is that 5 pins in outskirts? I'd like to see people spend a while hanging around in those earlier areas just trying to pick up a few quick goals. But then there's always the more difficult ones.
If you were playing right now, what do you think you would be doing in the situation?
That's a good question. I think at this point, those do not enter garbage waste and do not enter industrial goals are 3 squares unless you go there. So I'd like to build those into my plan. Of course, trying to do that means that you're cutting out a few other goals. I think there's quite a bit that's blocked here by various goals. Maybe that, if you see that top left to bottom right diagonal, although that squid goal, it's a long way.
So you think you'd want to knock out some of the passive goals first and then go for the more active ones?
Yeah, make use of the goals that you start with, because that means you need one less in the line.
That makes sense, that makes sense.
Got hatch 3 noodle fly eggs. What about you? What line are you looking at here?
Well, right now I'm just kind of looking around at them in general. I'm really interested to see if anyone will actually bother to tame one of the lizards.
Yes, orange lizards aren't terribly convenient unless you've got another goal to overlap here.
Because with Monk, it is easier to, tame the lizards, but with how, big of groups they are, it might be difficult to,
orange lizards,
isolate
there'll
one.
just be so many around.
Looks like the chat is very excited for...
Everyone wants to see Monk.
Everyone wants to see the Monk bombing cicadas, it looks like.
That's a lot of black squidcators, wow. It'll be interesting to see if anyone does that. A yeek from Outer Expanse to Subterranean's just come up there. That's a much nicer goal than that squidcator was, though it's pretty inconvenient still. Who knows that we might actually see some Outer Expanse. We're bringing Drainage Pearl. Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I was just gonna say it looks like we're still setting up a few things here and there.
Yep, still gotta change a few goals around. We've got some pretty difficult ones. Bear a green lizard 4 times. It's much nicer than the bombing squidcators. We're bringing a Neuron, Drainage Pearl, and Shaded Pearl all to Moon. It'd be interesting to see people going for that. And eating 6 different karma flowers.
With the bingo cards, it looks like we're gonna have a very active Monk round.
It looks like it, yeah. The Monk's going to be stealing things from scavengers, attacking everything in sight.
I mean, it'll be interesting to watch.
Now. For sure, yeah. Can't wait to see what the players start with here. But the wall echo too, now that one's always active, so it can just be gotten when you go up there. At this point, I do see that the middle row is impossible with the garbage vista and don't enter garbage waste. Along with having the garbage waste scrub up there too, so it might be worth giving up on the do not enter garbage wastes in favour of those other 2 goals. Especially because if you're not entering garbage wastes or industrial, you kind of have to go through farm arrays or subterranean to leave outskirts properly. I see that's changing now. It'll be slightly nicer.
Looks like we're getting even more lizards as well.
Yeah. Can't wait, we'll see everyone taming lizards, hitting them with spears, and that's the Sky Islands vista instead of do not enter Sky Islands now, and do not enter garbage wastes. So
we're gonna have to hope
is
that
not into industrial.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to hope that they don't hit their beloved orange lizard while trying to target the green one if that does happen.
Yes, although I don't think there's too many spots where those two spawn close together. And orange lizards aren't very good at moving
That
along
is a
with
good
the
point,
player.
yeah. We'll have to see how long they survive then.
Yeah, see how long they keep that lizard. I've got 5 pins. I'm still that 5 pins in industrial goal, in outskirts goal. I'm not sure how difficult that one will really be. I think it depends how good the players are at pinning. It's a very interesting goal there, with Sky Islands Vista and Noodlefly eggs, because there's a lot of Noodlefly eggs in Sky Islands. And then Garbage Waste, Karma Flowers, and Outskirts Pins are all pretty close together too. But with all these changes, I'm thinking that middle row might be a pretty nice one to go for.
But if everyone goes for the middle row, then in that case...
And they'll block each other.
So do you think it'll be a race for whoever gets it first?
I think there's still some other good routes that people might take instead, but I think that Garbage Waste Vista is going to be a really important square for both teams. That's true, actually. We are playing Monk, so there aren't many that Noodlefly eggs around. That goal might be harder than it looks. Yes, there's significantly fewer eggs. Perhaps if you took the path through farm arrays, you can still grab the 2 from that gate. Yes, there's still 3 in farm arrays for Monk, so that's still a good option. They're just all pretty difficult to get to. We're down to 2 either way. That means you just need that one spot at the entrance to farm arrays. How many Batfly lures is that? 5 Batfly lures. That's a
5.
lot. Wow. I'll be interested to see if we see the players traveling the whole map, gathering Batfly lore.
I think that'd be fun. I think...
I doubt they'll start with that, but maybe later we'll get to see it.
I mean, I doubt that too, but it would be fun to see them just running around.
One in the stomach, 1 in each hand.
Jumping over a predator to get to somewhere.
You're frantically trying to carry your Batfly lures.
Fighting away the Batflies.
I believe this Karma Flower goal could be pretty quickly cheesed by dying immediately at the start of a cycle, then finding the Karma Flower.
Oh, that is a good point, because Monk spawns them.
And we're just down to 3 Batfly lures now. That's a much nicer goal.
For a second, I thought we were going to raise the Batfly lures.
Just make it 7. You have to travel the entire map collecting Batfly lure.
You have to find them all.
How many of those are there? I mean, if we're not going into industrial, that's another 3 off the list.
It's just a quest of causing, like, extinction for the Batflies.
Yep. Removing all of their food sources and putting them all in a single shelter.
Looks like there are a few echoes as well. That's fun to see.
Yes, both shaded and wall echo. It's a pretty long way apart, but hopefully we'll see some teams pick those up. Now, with that goal changed down to 2 Batfly lures, I believe there are enough just in outskirts now, without having to travel across the whole map. should make that goal much nicer for the players. But less fun for us.
I mean, we don't want competitors getting frustrated with the...
No, we don't want
the
any
path
goals that'll
levers.
take them half an hour just to do that one goal. Oh, is that the outlaw passage at the top there?
Looks like it might be.
We should see quite a lot of murder for a monk run now. Is that
Going
Hunter?
after us? No, that's Hunter, I think.
Ah, yes, you're right. Either way, it's still going to be monk hunting down meat creatures. Slightly less murder, though.
Just a tad. Just a little.
That goal to bring a white squidcator through 2 gates. You could do that pretty quickly with some squidcator spawns. Or you could end up carrying a squidcator through the entirety of Sky Islands.
True, it depends on how the squidcators are behaving, though.
Yes, yeah, of course. If one refuses to start flying, then you've got a problem.
Sometimes they just don't want to. That's just how...
Yeah, for no apparent reason. I believe that's just a total of 100 points. So that's another goal we might see pretty quickly with all the killing that might happen here.
I spy with my little eye a hazer right over there, and
Hazer into
bottom
the
right
depths
corner.
pit. I assume we'll see someone grab it infiltration. Okay, now it's almost time to start the bingo, so we're just going to let the players have another look at the board, figure out their plans, and then we'll be off. What region do you think would be good for them to spawn in here?
Not sure. There's a lot of variety when it comes to this. I think
there's options for everywhere they spawn.
I think just any general location that you can travel to other regions pretty easily would be very nice.
Yeah, just having options from the start. So not all players are in one place. Yeah, I think, well, I'd want to spawn an industrial, except there's a goal to not enter industrial, so that would be a bit of a problem.
You can spawn next to industrial.
Just spawn in the outskirts gate. Start gathering goals from there instead.
No, close enough.
And here we go. The players are joining in now. And is this Outer Expanse or Pipe Yard? It's Outer Expanse.
Outer.
So we're going to see that geek goal very quickly. Well, this is certainly a fun spawn. Well, this is not what you wanted when you said getting to other regions quickly. We might see people trapped in Outer Expanse for a while.
It's pretty, at least. Very nice.
That is true. We're going to get some very pretty region. And a test of our players' map knowledge on whether they know how to escape.
See a couple of monks swimming around.
And with monks' reduced breath capacity, it can get a little dangerous. Spark already making some good progress, but there's a drop wig. Getting across pretty easily, though. That's a good point. Seeing someone go from outskirts seeing someone go from Outer Expanse to outskirts would be really interesting here. Just starting a bit further back in Monk's story.
It's a bit of lore accurate monk. I spotted a blue lizard for a moment, though it looks like it left.
Spark's still dealing with that blue lizard. And now we get to deal with Out of Expanse being a pretty dangerous region for a few of these players.
Now, I'm not the best at my own map knowledge, but it looks like Brian might be attempting to get out as soon as possible.
It looks like Brian's just heading up and out from there. I don't know the Outer Expanse map either, I'm afraid, so we're both in the dark.
We're both trapped in Outer Expanse, apparently.
Never going to escape. All I know is that they're in the very bottom part of the Outer Expanse proper region. So we might either see them dropping down into the outskirts gate area, or we'll see them trying to head up through Sunken Pier into Farmer Race.
Oh, there was a bit of an explosion over there.
Blowing everything up. There's the Wormgrass pit for Spark. Trying to figure out a way to get anywhere from here is pretty difficult. But that does give them clear confirmation of where they are on the map.
Brian, at the moment, could possibly get a white Squidcada over here.
I'm not sure that he'd want to carry it for that long, though. Through two
That
gates
would
from
be
here
an
is a
issue,
long
yeah.
way. It might be better to wait till you're in outskirts and then get that Squidcada. Sparks found the Yeeks. I think we're going to see a lot of people with that Yeek goal started but not locked in. I'm trying to find a shelter for the first goal of the Bingo.
Looks like Sparks and Vivi the Queen have been going to similar locations.
They've both got the Yeeks there now, yeah. Hopefully they both have a plan.
I mean, right now, if they're both together on the Yeek expedition, I think that they might have that in the bag.
Remember, they do have to shelter to lock that goal in. So it's always
That is a
possible
good point.
that Brian might manage to sneak
they
in
both
and grab the goal
perish.
first. I see Brian is making very quick work of Outer Expanse, already heading back to Sunken Pier. But there's a lot of lizards in the way now.
I suppose Brian did not want to be there.
Well, who wants to be in Outer Expanse when you've got all those goals and the rest of the map?
That's a very good point. That is a very good point, actually. If Brian can stay consistent with the progress, he could actually make quick work of a couple of them.
Yeah, getting out of Outer Expanse this much ahead of the rest of the other team could be a big step ahead. And I see red team there locks in the Yeek goal. Now there's basically nothing left for anyone in Outer Expanse. I expect we'll see them leaving as quickly as possible now. Yeah, you're right. Red team's both headed across towards the Outer Expanse ending for Monk, which really isn't where you want to be. You need to get out of Outer Expanse to get to the rest of the goals, which Brian's doing a good job of doing here.
Brian is very proactive in escaping.
Yeah, definitely prioritizing getting out of the region.
And it turns out that was a good play with both Sparks and Vivi focusing on the Yeeks as well.
Yes, and being trapped far over to the west of the region. Brian popping the first popcorn. First of many now. And Vivi getting caught out by Monk's low breath. Going to need to find another way round.
Very unfortunate.
And here Spark's just gotten past the massive wormgrass pit, heading back across towards the way out of this region. While Brian's already well ahead here.
Looks like Shu Kitsu is taking a different route from what they had done previously.
Ooh, it's a very different path here, yeah. Still heading east though, still trying to get out of the region. I do wonder if we'll see either of these teams try to take the lower path out through outskirts instead. And here's Shukitsu is getting into that massive shelter gate thing into Sunken Pier. I'm caught by the grass. It's a difficult
Brian
room
touched
there.
grass.
Fortunately he has sheltered, so it's not too far away, but still a bit of a setback. A nice AI jump there, just flying across the entire room.
Oh,
Gotta show off movement
very
when you have
impressive
the chance.
maneuver.
Has
Shu
Spark
making lots of
also
progress as well.
also in one of the gate shelters.
Looks to be in a... Oh no, that's not the same location, my bad.
No, I believe
No,
that is
different
two
one.
different shelters.
Different gates.
Yes, Yukitsu's at the big tree, fantastic looking area. As Vivi's heading back west again, I wonder where she's going.
Looks like Spark's
chased
taking
by
the
a drop
same
point.
direction, perhaps.
A very similar path to Shukitsu here.
You know, Brian
Well,
is taking a risk with...
Brian is already heading towards that path through outskirts.
That swimming section could have been very dangerous, especially as Monk.
Fortunately, gets through without an issue. Brian's climbing back up now. Maybe still trying to nail down the path for this region.
Looks like Sparks might be close to getting out as well.
Sparks, yes, also making a lot of progress towards the east now. But doesn't appear to be going quite as close to the pipe down into outskirts.
There are a lot of routes within the same locations,
Yes, and
so it makes sense for each of them to be going
they're
in a
all in
similar
very
direction.
different places, especially in a region
Very
as big
different.
as Outer Expanse. But Brian is very close now, almost escaped the region.
Vivi jumped across the wormgrass pit. Hey, what was the team name of the blue again? I kind of forgot. Slash silly.
They've been forgotten.
Oh no!
Brian's very nearly out of the region now, with Spark very close behind. Both of them well on the way.
Looks like both of them had very good
They both had some good
knowledge
routing
on
to
the
get out of
maps.
here, yeah.
Redeems 100 rebar
And
for Wolf.
even
Maybe
with
a snack
Spark-
will remind you.
Even with Spark
thank
picking
you.
up that yeet goal, it's still very, very close.
Do you think Brian will make it out first?
I think Brian is closer now, but Spark might manage to catch up with some very good movement in these next few rooms.
Hmm.
And Vivi's been cornered by wormgrass. Fortunately has a spear to stab into the wall and get out.
Looks like
Trying
Shu
to
and
keep
Vivi
progressing.
have a bit of difficulty with navigating, though I would too, frankly.
I mean, Outer Expanse is a difficult region. Brian's going back the other way now. Has a different plan, perhaps? Ah, Brian is holding two Batfly Laws. Locking in that goal before the other team can get it.
Well, that's a smart play, isn't it?
Definitely, although it puts him behind Spark. Though, no, Spark is going back the other way too. No? I'm not sure what Spark's doing. Going back and forth in that small tunnel.
Maybe he got stuck on something.
Possibly, yeah. Try just getting forward now. And Brian heads back
Either
to
that or
shelter.
having
And
a
Shukitsu
bit
is
of
also
leaping
nearly
difficulty.
out of that outer expanse.
Bit of leaping trouble. I understand that feeling.
And
Looks like
Spark
Vivi
is
might
Spark.
also be close to escaping.
Where is Spark going? Has Spark picked up the same Batfly laws just a bit too late?
Spark is going away.
Spark is going back and forth in these rooms just before the gate.
They have their own plan.
Well, there's Blue locking in the Batfly law goal. Now Spark knows you just need to go forward, get through the gate.
Shu is making very nice progress as well.
Shu is also right there with Spark here.
I'm not entirely sure. Oh, Vivi's getting the popcorn.
Ah, interesting. Spark's in this final room now, almost gotten out of the main outer expanse, while Brian heads back and Shu is just one room away.
Sparks may or may not have fallen.
Here goes Shukitsu, falling down as well. And we get to hear a very nice music track for this moment.
Oh, it's a very pretty track.
Brian's caught by a centipede in the one of the last rooms, going to have to go back through again.
Oh,
As Spark
very
and Shukitsu
unlucky.
make their way out. Fortunately, both teams are getting one player out at much the same time, so we won't see one team run away with every single goal.
This could be anyone's game currently, it seems. Though
Yep,
it
it's
is
still a
pretty
very
early
close
on.
match. No one's gotten a big lead already. Although it seems like Shukitsu might be navigating slightly faster than Spark here. Could give them
Perhaps.
a bit of a lead. And Brian's dealing with the same big centipede. Trying to
Looks
navigate
like,
these completely pitch black rooms.
Though it does look like Shu does know what they're doing even without the light. This is probably more of a familiar
Yes.
location for them.
It seems like they're very familiar with this part of Outer Expanse.
Very impressive thing, frankly. I wish I
Definitely,
could
yeah.
do that.
This route is not easy, and they're doing a great job of getting through it very quickly. Now, 15
And-
minutes into the bingo, we'll finally see some teams escape Outer Expanse, start collecting some other goals.
I was about to say, it looks like Vivi was holding something but dropped it.
Ah, shame.
Might have been a
No,
Squidcada. Oh, it is a Squidcada.
It's the wrong color of Squidcada, though. They need a white one if they're going for the Gates goals.
I don't think they're going for the gate schools currently. Looks like they're just trying
It
to make
doesn't
progress
look like they
to
are,
get
just
out.
trying to leave. And is this Spark? Spark has been sent back into Outer Expanse while Shukitsu escapes Outer Expanse.
Oh, that is a pretty decent lead.
And Brian is also nearly out of Outer Expanse now. This is a big lead for Blue Team.
Vivi
think
did a
Spark
very sick
didn't-
flip.
I think Spark didn't know the dark underwater sections. It's very difficult.
Oh, especially as Monk.
Yes, yeah, with less breath too.
Oh, if they had been Survivor, maybe they would have made it.
Would have been a... Now, with the Blue Team, with a solid lead here, they could probably pick up a few goals before Red gets a chance. Get across to parts of the map Red doesn't get to yet.
Shu seems to be making it to what looks like outskirts, possibly.
Yep, getting into outskirts proper now.
Oh, yep, that's definitely outskirts. Though I'm
Very
not
nice
quite
escape
sure
from
what
outer
Vivi
expanse
is
for sure.
attempting.
Vivi, I believe, is trying to take the sunken pier route out, or maybe just has taken a longer
Oh.
route around.
Be interesting to see where that goes then.
She might have just gone around a longer path to the same area. In fact, as she's going down now, it
Oh, it's
appears
the
that
monster
that might be
kelp.
the case. Oh, got away from it though. Into a completely submerged room.
That is a big risk as monk. Hopefully it pays off.
Going to get
Meanwhile,
round here.
Shukitsu looks to be attempting...
Shukitsu is getting into outskirts proper as Brian navigates. Trying to get there as well.
It looks like Vivi
Vivi
possibly
got caught in
drowned.
2 consecutive completely underwater rooms.
Very unlucky, very unfortunate.
And Spark sheltering again, still in outer expanse here. They're going to start seeing the other team pick up a few goals in outskirts and other regions now.
This is very exciting. Currently looks like we're
it's
still in similar routes for the two of them, though I do
with
expect,
Brian
or at
and
least hope,
Shu
for them
taking
to
the
split
same
up.
path. Yes, they expect now that they're in outskirts, they'll take different paths to collect goals. There's still a few goals to get in outskirts, of course, so I wouldn't be surprised if they stick around for a bit.
Though outskirts is one of the smaller regions, is it not?
I believe it has actually quite a lot of rooms compared to some other regions. It's one of the simpler regions for sure.
One of the simpler regions. That might have been why I had that misconception then.
There's not very many ways to get stuck with no way back. Unlike a region like Drainage System.
Very introduction-friendly region, as it should be. Though that doesn't make it any less scary.
Of course. Though these monk spawns are going to be pretty forgiving for these players, thankfully. Shukitsu is still in Downpour exclusive rooms. I believe he is about to enter... Oh, not quite yet. Nearly in the main rooms from the beginning of the game. And here we are. We're just starting this Rain World bingo off with the main room.
Wow, it's lore accurate.
Lore accurate Rain World bingo. Shukitsu finally getting to start playing Rain World. Brian is very close behind here. They're both going to be in outskirts very soon.
Everything before was just the prologue.
The teams... And Spark's almost back now, so there won't be... Only be a bit of a delay. Catching back up.
Oh, and Vivi got hit by a drop wig, it seems.
Oh, not dead though, so gets to keep exploring. Oh no, they've been sent back again. And Spark's finally dropping down, nearly out of expanse, too.
Looks like Vivi's been
Now-
attempting several different routes.
Barely avoids drowning again there. They keep getting caught in these large underwater sections with no way through his monk. It looks like Sparks made it through the dark underwater section they got caught in last time. Now heading round.
You did in fact find a greenie.
There's a green. Time to start getting those spear hits in.
You're right, Scruffles. They gonna get a
Looks like
square?
he's trying.
Maybe so.
Might have lost the spear there though. I'll have to go back for it later. Ryan trying to get turn storage on that pole. But still needs an up throw to cross that gap. Just going round instead.
It's like Vivi got unlucky again.
Yep, has to quit out, restart.
Do you think this is just unlucky spawn rates?
I think it's both a route that's taking her through a couple of completely water-filled rooms, and just a bad shelter for this area.
You were mentioning, like, earlier how some of them were attempting a more water-based route.
Yes, especially Vivi's been caught in some very water-heavy rooms.
Brian found 2 greenies.
Going to get that sparing goal?
Oh, jumped over one as well.
A very nice pin down spear. That's a very good move from Brian. Displaying all the combat knowledge.
Looks like Spark will be escaping soon as well.
Yep, Spark's almost into outskirts now. Time to start collecting some goals for Red Team as well. Blue Team's got a head start here. Brian's going to eat his first Karma Flower, hopefully of many. And once again, cutting out industrial from your route makes getting these Karma Flowers quite a bit more awkward. There's still a few in outskirts and drainage system though, so I expect the teams will pick those up quickly. Speaking of drainage, Shuketsu's already heading down there. And Brian locks in the green lizard goal. This should alert reads to the fact that the blue team has left Outer Expanse now.
Oh. Both have, in fact, checked. Blue slug, red slug equals purple slug. Thank you, Scruffles. Very fascinating.
Is Brian going to head up to Farm Arrays from this path? Or forego the industrial square in favor of having a better route?
Does look like they're both taking very different routes, so that is exciting to see. Meanwhile, Sparks...
And yes, Brian is heading across to Farm Arrays. And Spark is getting out of...
a lot of progress for Spark.
Into the main part of outskirts now.
Looks like that notification sent a bit of determination for Spark as well as Vivi.
Yeah, the knowledge that Blue Team has finally escaped Outer Expanse and is picking up goals and outskirts. Definitely means they know they've got to catch up now.
Chu getting the popcorn plant, very exciting for them. Brian doing a very sick flip.
Very nice roll pounce across that gap. And looping back around, heading back through to Farm Arrays. I think we're going to see both of Blue Team taking 2 different routes, trying to get into different regions. As Spark
I do think this will benefit
catches
them
up,
both as well.
Vivi has finally managed... And that... I did not know you could wall pounce up that gap that Spark just did.
Oh.
It was a very nice fit move. Displaying all the movement knowledge right there.
Very excited to see what Vivi will do in a more familiar location.
Yes, getting out of Expanse into a region she knows a bit more.
Since it obviously being in an unfamiliar location can impair.
It definitely makes it more difficult if you don't know where you're going.
Oh, and just defended from a blue lizard of Vivi.
Trying to stay alive here. And Brian is looping back around through into the lower parts of the rooms. Here's another green lizard. We might see another sick flip pen.
Bark having taken a bit of a nap. Meanwhile, Shu is going somewhere.
Shu's down near drainage, but hasn't gone through yet. Might be trying to go for that Hazer goal. In
Looks like
fact,
they're contemplating something.
if we see that fourth row, open popcorn, tame an orange, 100 points, and throw a hazer into the subterranean pit. It looks like Shu's going away though, so we might not see that quite yet.
Maybe going for a safer bingo.
Possibly. Trying to pick up some slightly easier squares.
Bark also in outskirts now.
I mean, keep in mind, blue technically already has 2 in a row in that second column.
Looks like Shu's checking up.
Shu is sheltering now, locking in any progress they've made.
VB taking a nice dip in the water.
If he's back in these really watery-based rooms.
Bark getting very unlucky with a pink
I
lizard.
missed that. Ah, a shame. Still lots of time to do things in outskirts. With both Brian and Shu still hanging around there. But Brian's almost headed into Farmerays now. Possibly heading for that popcorn goal, or taming an orange, or just a way to get into the rest of the map. Oh, but there's a coloured pearl first. Going to wall pounce back out, of course, just to show off. It's much faster than going round.
There's quite a few green lizards on the screen right now.
Everyone's just dodging green lizards frantically. Brian's almost at that scavenger toll now.
Having a bit of a yawn.
Yeah, far too early for this.
Lost question mark from IAD TV.
Vivi does seem to be making progress now, but she was caught in some very water-filled rooms with Monk's reduced breath before.
I mean, this does look like a very unsafe location for Monk. Not from, well, entities, but rather just the location in general, which can be very unfortunate.
Yes, and here's Brian just trying to get that scavenger toll goal. And it's now going to head back again to lock it in. Blue team just trying to take advantage of this lead to pick up several goals. The Shuketsu is farming up some hunter progress.
Looks like Brian's focusing more on general progress.
Just trying to get some goals.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, I believe, getting that stealing spears from the toll goal.
Get a couple of yeeks over with VV.
Yeah, unfortunately the only yeek goal was taken by Red Team long ago.
Still
Brian,
nice to see a funny critter here and there.
Of course. All their squeaks. And heading back to a shelter. Might go for that pinning goal after finishing this shelter and locking in here.
Bark is very high up currently, it seems.
Spark on the very top, getting those pins on the squidcators. Of course, squidcators are very free for pinning. This pin goal could be very important, because I know blue team's ahead on Hunter now. And, well, then it's anyone's game for who can get to shoreline first. But blue team could be in a good position here, if they can get those pins first.
Looks like Brian might be in the direction of shoreline, at least currently.
Brian's been back and forth all over the place, still in outskirts, just picking up pins, getting that scavenger toll goal just now.
Brian has things to do and places to be.
There are a lot of goals that revolve around outskirts, and they're just slowly picking them up, one by one. Spark heads back to shelter and lock in those goals. And Shuketsu just keeps killing and pinning egg bugs one every cycle.
Looks like Vivi might be taking a different route.
Vivi, I believe, making some progress here, but still trapped in Outer Expanse, of course. Now Vivi, while in Outer Expanse, that's right, could still be getting the Hunter Passage, getting 100 points. There's still options for Vivi to do while trapped in this region.
Shuketsu still with their beloved eggs.
And, yep, Spark's better strategy for the pen goal has let them steal that from Blue. Going after those Squidcators was very worth it.
Very sad to see all that progress go to waste.
That's a lot of Blue's time spent on a goal they can't get.
Very unfortunate.
Really let Spark catch up here.
But this does mean that the lead is closing now.
Blue team doesn't have a quick bingo now. There's still a few options, but they aren't just ahead. Spark is heading down to drainage, perhaps. Trying to find a way into the right half of the map.
Vivi seems to be in some kind of yeek purgatory.
Trapped by the yeek.
The yeek
and yes,
cell.
we see Spark leaving for drainage now. The first person to get out of outskirts, actually. After Brian and Shuketsu have spent ages trying to pick up those pens.
Shrub wondering if Spark is heading for the hazers currently.
Has Spark already picked up a hazer? That might be interesting.
I don't think there are hazers around that location generally.
There is one that spawns down just opposite the drainage shelter.
Close by, yes.
And of course, within drainage, there's still a few more.
Yeah, within drainage. After all, hazers are very limited. Looks like Shuketsu taking a quick nap.
Just trying to get more hunter progress, perhaps? We still won't get to see that passage, of course. But they've done a few cycles with only egg bug eggs now. And Brian is entering farm arrays, trying to get some very different goals to what Spark can get here. Perhaps we'll see Shuketsu following Spark down into drainage.
It does look like Shuketsu and Brian have very good synergy for what they're doing currently, so I think that might be what they're doing.
To split up their goals. Brian
splitting up their goals but in similar locations. I think that's a very good game plan.
Definitely very important. Make sure you aren't working on the same goal as your teammate. Although with both of them working on that pen goal, it possibly slowed them down quite a bit. Not knowing that Spark was already finishing it. And Spark is a solid bit ahead in drainage now, going to be able to pick up a few goals before the others have a chance.
Looks like any time blue team gets a bit of a lead, Spark gets some kind of boost in motivation.
Spark's doing really well to catch back up, get another goal for red before blue can get a chance. And there's the hazer.
Like escaped as well.
Vivi is making Vivi's been making small bits of progress back in the Yeek room. Oh no, that's the Squidcader. Just has to get out of there. If Spark gets across into garbage wastes, there's a vista there. Then perhaps some goals like the Squidcader through to gates. There's Drainage Pearl to Moon, which you can get as you keep going. There's a lot of goals Spark can get here while being a solid bit ahead.
Shu having some difficulties with
And
mapping when it comes to what the green lizards are doing.
green lizards are always horribly unpredictable and slow at going through pipes. It can really mess with you. Ryan's sheltering in farm arrays now. Spark is not going for the Hazer goal and is in fact trying to possibly escape drainage for garbage waste.
These are very interesting routes that everyone's taking. Completely
They might
different
passage
locations.
back later.
Checking up on what passages he can do.
Yep, just trying to figure out what's a good strategy.
That's a good bingo to have. It's
Yeah,
like
now
maybe
Red-
in a entirely
Red
new
actually
location.
has a very solid threat on that top left to bottom right bingo. If Spark or Vivi can get 100 points. With Spark being a long way closer to garbage wastes.
I do think if Spark focuses on it, he could possibly steal it from Shu, though Shu has been pretty consistent in their progress.
Yeah, though Shu has mostly been getting points off egg bugs, which don't give a lot. Vivi is going to Sunken Pier here. Going to be heading for the subterranean gate.
That is a very interesting choice, actually, especially for
It could slow them down more, but she'll also be in a very different place to Blue Team.
Could be very interesting to see. I wonder if they have any special opportunities when it comes to the bingos that they choose.
It's true, there could be a few other options only opened by that subterranean path. Though I don't think there's too many subterranean goals on this bingo.
Both of Vivi and Spark taking a synchronized nap. Very good for them.
Both making
always
some
nice to have
solid
rest.
progress. Spark locks in that shelter, so there's safe attempts at getting that drainage pearl. And then escaping. Grabbing some bubbleweed. Gonna swallow one, of course.
This game, people have been taking a lot of risks with monks breathing, and when it comes to the water, especially what Spark is doing right now.
Fortunately with bubbleweed, it's significantly less of a risk, but it's still a pretty dangerous path. Gonna swallow that garbage waste pearl. Slowly head over the shoreline.
Oh, I love Shoreline.
Vivi now having to deal with scavengers here. And Brian is heading off in a direction. Might be heading up to Sky Islands now. Going to get to go past that toll. Possibly bomb it on the way. While Spark's now heading to garbage waste properly. And Brian picking up popcorn as he travels as well. There's still a few goals Brian can go for here. Can Brian cross this toll though?
I mean, with the skill that Brian has shown,
It's
I
going to cross
do
safely, and
think they might be
Shuketsu locks
able to
in
go
the
through.
haze. Shuketsu has gotten the Hunter Passage. But Spark is already
Ooh.
entering garbage waste. It's a solid lead for Spark on these garbage waste skulls. Of which there are two all in a line. It'll just be interesting if Vivi can get the points before Brian or Shuketsu does. Might be a matter of timing that goal. To not let blue team know that there's a threat.
Meanwhile, Vivi has in fact escaped.
Vivi is in sunken pier. I wouldn't call that escaped quite yet, but at least she's somewhere a little nicer.
Escapes part 2, I'm not sure. Oh, I'm very excited. We're making it quite close to shorelines.
Yeah, Spark's going to be finding this garbage waste vista, grabbing a grapple worm and heading out of into shoreline possibly. Maybe battling a monster kelp. Possibly is just going for points here, as she needs to.
Looks like it.
And Spark's going to get in 2 popcorn here. That's very, very nice. A very, very good roll pounce. The throw boosted wall pounce. Spark displaying some very nice movement here. And especially this wall pounce is very difficult. Going to head back
Not
and
quite
grab a
sure
spear
what-
and make it a little easier.
Oh, Spark was doing a wall pounce. I was like, oh, I'm not
Yeah,
sure what
trying
he's
to
doing.
do a very tricky one. Going to just head back, grab some spears, not try to do the difficult movement tech.
Vivi has unfortunately fallen to their death.
We'll have to go back through Sunken Pier again.
Still, a lot of progress for Vivi. That's very nice.
Definitely getting somewhere now. Going back to Outer Expanse, there's more points that way. Vivi might not even have to leave the region.
Shu, meanwhile, is in the walls and pipes.
Who is kidding through drainage, but might not know he is behind Spark at this point. Spark heading up to give things to a scavenger merchant as Blue locks in the popcorn goal. Blue's picking up a lot of goals here, but Red's bingo threat is dangerous.
Spark is a very driven player from what I've been seeing so far, especially when it comes to seeing the lead that blue team may or may not have.
Spark's doing an excellent job. Still creating some big threats even while blue team's picking up all these goals. There's still a large threat on that bingo line. And Spark's
I
finding that
spotted
vista now.
Ooh. I spotted
But
a
there's a
garbage
vulture
one
in
on
the
Spark's
way.
screen as well. And a vulture!
I might go for the scavenger instead. No, Spark's going to have to run away from the vulture, getting delayed on that vista.
That is a very big inconvenience.
A terrible spot for a vulture when you can't just run past it. You have to climb up to the vista.
Especially with how determined vultures seem to be at times.
Yes, sometimes they'll just never leave you alone. Like
Very
here, this
persistent.
one. I mean, all the way in. But fortunately, Spark's going to get the vista, just has to shelter and lock that in. Probably going to grab a vulture grub to head to shoreline next. It'll be interesting. Do Brian and Shuketsu have the points near them to stop Red's potential bingo? Because if they do, then they've got a lot more goals.
Looks like Spark
Vivi
is
stole a bomb,
backtracking.
but ended up dying to the toll.
Oh.
That's a difficult death. Still managing to make some progress on goals, even without having to leave. Throws a bomb. Doesn't appear to get the goal marked. Possibly
Looks like
it
they
has
might
to
have to
hit
try
the
again.
ground near the toll, but that's a very frustrating way to not have a goal count.
It is very unfortunate.
We'll see.
Spying
We'll see
some
when
more
they shelter,
garbage
but I
worms.
don't. We'll see when We'll see when she shelters. But I don't think that goal was counted. Spark grabbing a
Meanwhile, looks
vulture grub and now heading across to a shelter. And maybe heading to industrial here? But no, can't really afford to forfeit that goal with that being the main line. Yeah, just going to shelter, that's good. Vivi takes another death. Ah, Vivi has to steal the bomb from out of a scav's hand. That's why that one didn't work. And Spark
It's
gets the
very
garbage vista.
unfortunate.
Shuketsu now knows Shrub is already in garbage wastes. Going to have to really rush to get that vulture grub goal. Of course, if Spark is trying to avoid using the industrial gate, Shuketsu could get a faster path.
That
Just
is
go into
true.
industrial, sacrifice that goal while Spark runs all the way across garbage.
It's very fun to see everyone's individual playstyles when it comes to the bingo. Shuketsu preferring to take a more passive role, taking their time with the certain bingos and focusing on those exclusively.
Yeah, picking a single goal, focusing on that, not trying to multitask.
Especially
While
when it comes to
Brian's
the
travelling
longer
across
goals.
several regions, picking up a few goals. Vivi is getting the full Rain World experience here.
I do think Brian and Shuketsu are making a very good team currently,
They're picking up a lot of
especially
goals,
with their
but
different playstyles.
they're still under a lot of threat from Spark's route.
Oh, and a lot of threat as well, yes.
It's going to all come down to whether they can get enough points or block that vulture grub before Spark crosses the region. Vivi still trying to just steal a bomb. As Blue locks in the noodle fly goal. It's a lot of gold being picked up by Blue. Red might need this bingo.
Do you think Spark might be headed to Moon?
I think Spark will head to Moon after picking up these garbage wastes goals. Trying to bring that drainage pearl. I'm interested to see if Brian will tame an orange on the way through Sky Islands now. The Sky Islands is excellent for a lot of points here. So if Brian is aware of that threat, he might take this chance to block off the red from winning.
True, but that also would take a lot of work. But I think Brian would be very much up for that since they have been
Brian's
taking
already
some more
picked up a few
difficult.
points.
Yeah, Brian has been taking some more of the difficult, but quicker options.
And Spark's
Looks like
already almost to shoreline now. Going to get their vulture grub goal before Shuketsu can block it.
Raincloud asking, what are the rows? Oh, my bad. What are the ones in row 3, column 5, and row 4, column 5?
That's eat 6 Karma Flowers and throw a hazer into the pit down to depths infiltration system.
It's like Brian heading up.
Spark's almost left now. Not picking up that Scavenger Merchant goal while they're in garbage wastes is very interesting. Possibly just trying to rush this bingo and get it over. But that points goal is...
Suppose that means Brian is feeling a bit of the pressure currently and having
I'd hope Brian has noticed this, knowing that Spark's in garbage wastes will probably be getting that goal, and just needs to get some points.
Looks like Shuketsu is trying to get somewhere in garbage waste as well. Meanwhile, Vivi's
still been going for that scavenger bomb goal. Now heading further off to the right. might be finally almost out of the outer expanse. Spark.
It's like Brian made it to Sky Island.
Spark pulling the grub out of their stomach just to make sure it counts. And is going to get for the 4th goal in a row. Just needs that point, that points goal. And this could be a very nice game for Red. But Brian in Sky Islands, there's a lot of points here, could end up blocking.
It's like Shukitsu is having some trouble with the Brother Longlegs.
Trying to get past the rot.
I understand that feeling.
It can be a very annoying moon. Just trying to get past all that rot can stretch its tentacles from floor to ceiling.
Very nice to see that they're at least moving.
And here's Spark locking in the 4th goal in a row for Red Team. While Brian heads out into the bottom exit from the orange lizard room. No, heading back in now. Now, Vivi does not have the outer expanse gate unlocked and is stuck in at that gate. After finally reaching it, cannot leave.
That is very unfortunate.
I believe there's a remix toggle that they could have enabled to be able to get through there. But won't be able to.
Shu, meanwhile, still having some difficulties with the rot. Looks like Brian
is back in Farmer Base. He's going to have to run back through again.
Shukitsu trying to distract a bit of the Brother Longlegs. Very sick flip from Brian. And it looks like Sparks is in the shorelines.
Spark is in shoreline, heading across to Moon now.
Very exciting. I like shorelines.
I've never been a huge fan of shoreline, honestly. Just the massive stretches of water. It's saying it takes so long to swim across when you're anyone except rivulet, of course.
That is a good point, yeah. Luckily, it looks like Spark doesn't have to worry about that with the power of a jetfish.
Fortunately, just zooming across most of the region all in one cycle. Going to have to dodge this salamander, though. Now, there is a path underneath this whole island. If you go down, you can see that spot for breath in the middle, and then head out the other side. It's only possible with a jetfish. It's going to sacrifice the jetfish in order to access the shelter, though. Maybe not? Doesn't have the food, perhaps? No, it's going in now.
I guess he was just trying
And
to
Vivi is now opening the outer expanse gate. Using the MSC unlock to make sure it's open on this save.
Honestly, real.
Now we'll be able to finally escape outer expanse, get into subterranean. It's another pretty good region for some points.
Chat saying on stream cheating SMH/sarcasm.
Actually cheating at World Bingo.
I'm telling.
There's Spark grabbing some jellyfish to eat, while Brian is still trying to navigate these awkward rooms at the beginning of Sky Islands.
What do you think
And here's
Shukitsu's
Vivi.
plan is right now?
Vivi just needs to get some karma, and she can finally leave Outer Expanse.
I have a lot of faith in Vivi.
I believe she can do this.
I'm very excited. Meanwhile, what do you think Blue's team's plan is currently?
I think Blue... Shukitsu appears to be trying to get a Drainage Pearl to Moon, but again, Spark is on the same route, just much faster. It's going to be
Oh, very unfortunate.
another lot of time lost for the blue team here. I think Brian trying to tame that orange lizard, but also just going for points, has to be the plan here. Because without those points, there's going to be a huge time loss. I wonder if Vivi is aware. She could use her passage to fill up to max karma here, and then leave for subterranean using that.
Oh, Vivi took a bit of a fall. Bit of a fall again, but
Still trying to
luckily
find-
Monk is
Just
okay.
gonna head down for food. Vivi, I believe, just needs to shelter one more time with enough food. We'll be able to head to subterranean and start getting some real points on the board.
Unfortunately, Vivi's Monk will be having a bit of a bruised head once they go back for the nap.
Leaping into every wall under the sun. Spark is almost at moon now. I wonder... would it be worth it for Vivi to just kill everything in Outer Expanse instead of trying to find points in Subterranean?
That would actually be very silly.
Just never leaving Outer Expanse.
Monk has had enough.
Monk is staying home. The Spark travels through to Moon, drop off that Hazer Pearl, hopefully start going for some points. I would be awful to see them lose this when they could have been going for it the entire time.
Spark is very close to Moon right now.
Spark probably very aware of the roll pounce you can do to get up. Just going to Downspear instead. That's a simpler option.
Oh, very nice flip.
Vivi now going to be just getting lots of points in Subterranean. Passaging to get through the gate. Might manage to finally make it through and win this bingo. As Brian's just keeping travelling on through and might manage to get enough points, but doesn't seem to be focusing on it. As that blue lizard isn't quite dead yet due to Monk's low spear damage. And there we go, there's some more points.
If Spark does make this, which it looks like they will, this would be the second time Shukitsu's bingo card was unfortunately lost, correct?
Yes, Shukitsu has been following the same route as Spark, just has been about one region behind. Not
and we're arguing the Moon dialogue.
What's going on? Not even listening to Moon. Disappointed.
Does not care.
And Vivi has left Outer Expanse. Now in Subterranean.
This is monumental.
Sub 1 hour exit Outer Expanse.
No lore allowed from Shrub.
And Spark is locking in that Drainage Pearl goal. Oh, and Store 2 in Shoreline. That's actually a pretty good goal to get there. And Vivi is sheltering safely out of Outer Expanse. Can now start gathering a ton of points.
This is very
Spark's
exciting.
trying to plan what to do next. Should they passage back, try to get lots more points, or just leave that to Vivi and pick up some other goals? At this point, it's actually a very close match with 6 goals to 6, even with Blue's quick start. Plus, of course, that one don't enter industrial goal both teams get.
I'm very excited to see how this will end.
Yes, we might have Blue block the 100 points goal and have this go for another hour. Is Vivi trying to get some kills, perhaps? Or just travel through Subterranean? Really does need to get some points here. Vid's doing a great job of managing to get these goals.
I wonder what Shukitsu's doing right now.
Shukitsu's still traveling through Shoreline. Might head up to Shaded instead and collect that echo. Although again, that might be Spark's plan, and Spark is still slightly closer. While Vivi just tries to get more and more points. Yes, I see Spark checking out that Shaded Echo goal now.
Vivi fought off a blue lizard. Congratulations on that.
Grab as many points as possible. Spark's doing an excellent job gathering every goal before Shukitsu gets a chance.
Very aggressive monk with Vivi.
Yet so many points needed. But Ryan's been doing the same. Might manage to get to that goal first. And Ryan is entirely unopposed in the Sky Islands half of the map. With Vivi, can't really exit up into Farmer Maze anymore, so we'll end up actually in a pretty similar area to where people have already been.
Still very curious as to what Shu is doing currently.
Is Shukitsu back near the start of Shoreline, I believe?
Looks like they might be going back.
Oh no. No, this isn't the start, this is somewhere else.
Spark is seemingly going back.
Ryan,
Meanwhile, Brian
can also pick up the Sky Islands Vista, is picking up every point he can get his hands on. Spark hopefully hitting for Shaded right now. And where is Shukitsu going? Is this Pipe Yard?
No, I don't think it's Pipe Yard.
I mean, it's not
just
Pipe Yard
yet.
yet, but this is the
Yeah,
route
not
there.
yet.
Vivi going for a centipede now? Perhaps? No, going to go past instead.
Surprisingly, no orange lizards to be seen from Brian.
Yes, no taming an orange lizard despite having a great place for it.
I
Brian
suppose they
picks up
migrated.
more and more points. While Vivi and Spark don't appear to be prioritizing that. Spark is going for the Shaded Echo though. Brian's found the Vista, but isn't collecting it. Brian is... I think you're right, Albert. Brian will be really focusing on trying to just get these points before their team can win.
You think so?
Well, I think so.
Again, a bit of music.
Brian has to focus really hard on these points, or it's just game over. Must be very close now, or he'd be traveling somewhere else.
And a bit of music from Shukitsu. Very nice. We love music.
It's good to get the good tracks coming up.
A very good track. I like this one.
Spark is now nearly in Shaded. Is that Brian at 80 Shrub?
I'm still very surprised at the lack of orange lizards.
Well, Brian is very close then. Might end up taking that goal away from Red, as Spark focuses on just getting that echo.
Maybe the lizards are hiding from Brian.
Blue could get second row from bottom. That's a good point. Red is not blocking them there, and Spark isn't in a position to help. Could end up passaging back to somewhere to get the tame though.
Well, this is a very close round.
If Shukitsu headed... Why is Shukitsu in Moon now though? That Bring a Pearl to Moon goal is already blocked.
That's why I've been so nosy.
Yeah. Brian at 80 points exactly, going to shelter now.
Oh, maybe Shukitsu doesn't know.
Might have missed that goal's already been taken.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. Ooh, I can feel the sting, and I'm not even playing.
It's difficult.
Ooh.
It's a big time loss, really.
Oh, that's got a big...
Shukitsu needs to be checking their board. Wow.
You're feeling it too.
Yeah, that's difficult. And picking up just a couple more kills. Almost finished this 100 points goal.
Reminds me of like the Undertale genocide route. There's just nothing
Just
left.
kill everything, there is nothing to fight.
Going through
Well,
every
Vivi
single room,
does not-
searching.
Vivi does not appear to be focusing on points. It's an interesting decision.
Phoebe's taking a nice stroll, and you know what? I can appreciate that.
Just having an explore of Subterranean. Stowaway.
Ooh, Spark's in a new location. Very nice flip over there.
Spark into Shaded, now going to get that echo. Has to worry about Blue's line though, with Brian very close to picking up that point. Those 100 points.
Though there are a few options for Shaded still, even without that, is there not?
There's still a few options, but with Shuketsu down in Shoreline, can pretty quickly get back to the depths pit with a hazer. And Brian can pick up a Tame and Orange and 100 points. But end up in a difficult situation for Red's team again. Is flipping
what I'm
back and
seeing-
forth.
what I'm
Unless
seeing
Vivi
right now.
has a hazer.
Oh, Vivi does have the hazer.
Perhaps? I'm not sure. If Vivi does, then
Maybe.
this is a very good block.
This be a bit of hazer content.
I don't know if Vivi picked one up.
Be very nice if they did, though.
And Shoes made it to Moon.
Brian has it.
With the gold already marked
From
off.
Shrub.
And Brian has blocked the bingo. And
I was going to
Shuketsu
say
got
earlier
grabbed by
that
by a black lizard.
very unlucky. I was going to say earlier that if Brian did run into an orange lizard, I wasn't sure if they were going to tame it or not, or just kill it.
And in fact, did not tame the orange lizard, just killed it for points. Bark heading for a shelter. Go to lock that in, head back for the echo, then figure out what you're doing about blue team's line.
Shuketsu checking up on the options here. Unfortunately realizing Moon, that is heartbreaking.
It's tough, yeah.
Oh,
Brian heading for the Sky Islands echo just to get rid of it now, I believe. Get those orange lizards to be tameable.
Brian gonna head up? Brian
Brian's
is
just
heading up.
Brian is collecting the echo just to get rid of it at this point.
Oh, that's a bit of a fall from Brian, but it does
Quick
not matter.
activation. Quickly resetting with the echo there. Vivi at a scav merchant. Oh, got killed by the scav. Unfortunate. Possibly trying to steal a bomb from it, but the scav did not approve.
They can
The
be very
Spark picks up this
unpredictable.
echo. Now, is Brian going to get killed by a scav? Yes. Brian's going to go and tame that orange now, I expect.
Meanwhile, it looks like Spark is carrying a little lantern.
Spark's
Nice for us
ready
to
with
be
a
able to
lantern.
see.
Makes it a little easier to keep track, indeed.
We love
Spark
seeing.
not taking the path to the echo.
That's an interesting decision. Suppose they're focusing on something else then.
Indeed, possibly trying to block off Blue from just winning the game here. Going to steal a bomb from a scav merchant? In fact, is going to get the trading with a scav merchant goal.
Shuketsu, meanwhile, heading back after
After
very
going all the way to
unfortunate-
Moon.
turn of events, that is.
Red has a lot of goals, especially Spark has a lot of goals right here in Shaded. If Blue doesn't take the win on that fourth row.
It is a bit of a race right now.
Does picking up an echo lock in a goal? I'm not sure. Is the Shaded echo? The only bingo line left now is that fourth row that Brian, I believe, is going to tame an orange with the center wing.
I see a Leviathan.
Oh, Shukitsu
And
getting caught by the
ooh.
Leviathans. Ah, we get to see the iterator lighting the path for Spark here. Shukitsu using their passage, possibly trying to get back to the Hazer and bring it into Subterranean. But remember, we did see Spark go the same way, so we might see another passage from Spark to get back to that one quickly, after locking in this merchant goal.
Shrub, meanwhile, in chat proclaiming that Brian did in fact tame.
Brian has tamed the orange, locks that in, and it's a 4 in a row for blue now. Spark might just need to passage back to that drainage shelter, grab a Hazer, and go.
Chat is also having a discussion.
Vivi is heading back to filtration if Vivi has the Hazer. But the Black Lizard...
I have faith in Vivi.
Vivi might manage to block this goal.
If Vivi does, that would be...
No, Shukitsu has just used a passage. Back to one of the gates. Yeah, Shukitsu checking that Hazer goal. Figuring out what he needs to do to finish off that bingo. Brian hasn't been to a shelter that would be convenient for passaging here. So it's really all up to Shukitsu to finish off this goal. Well, Brian can pick up the wall echo, that's right. And then, if this bingo gets blocked, we get a long match, which is going to be very, very close.
I wonder what's going through everyone's head right now. This match has been very eventful.
Yeah, well, Vivi might be clearly on the way to filtration, but still just trying to figure out where to go. In fact, heading back up now, as Spark is still not doing anything about the Hazer threat.
Vivi's stuck in purgatory.
Orange Lizard locked in. Vivi is getting into filtration now. Vivi's spotting the Hazer goal.
This is the second Vivi purgatory.
Subterranean purgatory now. Spark might have noticed that Hazer goal.
Ooh, if Spark noticed it, that would be...
Spark has a very convenient shelter to passage to, but Shukitsu has a Hazer, is swimming through drainage. I believe.
That is a pretty big risk.
Wait, not a Hazer. Still needs to go back and get the Hazer.
Still, swimming through that is quite a big risk, especially for Monk.
With the bubbleweed, you're not gonna die unless you spin forever.
That is true. That is true.
Still stuck in purgatory.
Looks like he picked up another bubbleweed, perhaps.
Spark might have to passage back and block this.
Oh, we might have completely missed it, but Brian did get the orange lizard.
Yes, Brian has the orange lizard's tame and the Sky Islands Vista. There's only 6 goals left on this board. And only a blue. With Brian heading up to this wall echo, soon it'll only be blue bingos left.
If either of them do get an echo for the red team, they could both be in a similar position, though it looks like one of the options would have to get...
Both teams are at 9, 6 squares left. This is definitely a very close match.
Brian moving very fast.
Spark trying to grab a shaded pearl, just assuming Vivi's got the Hazer covered. It's a risky play because Shukitsu is getting closer and closer.
Ooh, that's a big gamble.
As Vivi heads away from the filtration again.
Magic Man in chat is right. It does look like Shukitsu is heading for the hazer. Though it
Yep,
does look
trying
like that
to
is
finish this
essentially the
off.
only option they have.
Shukitsu can pick up this hazer and then head down to depth.
Spot a salamander right there.
Just a very inconvenient spot.
Brian, meanwhile, taking a quick nap while Spark and Vivi seem to be in vaguely similar locations.
Vivi, I believe, down near the centipede pit, while Spark trying to get that shaded pearl to Moon, even as Shukitsu's in drainage, about to bring a hazer. Could just be blue team being faster to the hazer goal after Brian blocked the points.
This is an arms race at this point. Depending on what other entities do, this could be very quick or a very long wait.
We could just see Shukitsu go down. Brian's heading up for 2 gates with the squid. Then the wall echo. Shukitsu's trying to get the hazer, which would just end it. While Vivi, I think, could end up going for stealing a stealing a bomb from a scav. Spark can go for the shaded pearl. I think Red's fighting an uphill battle here. It's not over yet, but it's going to be close. Especially with Shukitsu now going through the path to filtration.
Oh, Vivi just sent upon a flashbang. I wonder if there's any bingos pertaining to flashbangs.
I know I've seen one that was store 2 flashbangs in a shelter. There are definitely some goals that involve them.
Okay.
Nothing for this match, of course.
One of them's just like, use 5 flashbangs.
Just spam throw them.
All
Maybe
at
was
once.
trying to get that bomb goal, yeah. Or craft a flashbang, yeah. Spark is just too far away from hazes at this point, while Shukitsu is rapidly approaching depths.
Spark moving very fast as well.
While Brian has three goals lined up very soon, I believe. Oh,
Yeah,
only
it
2.
looks like Brian does know it as well.
Yeah, I think Blue wins off the hazer, but even with that, Brian set up to grab 2 more and put a lot of pressure on Red. It is, I believe, too late for Red to get down. Though Blue doesn't know that yet. For all they know, Spark is once again just a little ahead of Shukitsu.
It does look like Shukitsu's been rushing a little bit more after the moon fiasco, so...
Yes, Shukitsu's gone off to a different goal, different path from Spark, and is going to pick one up now.
This might be it.
We could see an end by bingo with most of the board filled. Brian crossing into exterior very shortly, which will give him the Squid Cater through 2 gates goal.
Shrub is right, better hoping for no vultures for Brian, which...
Looks like Brian's
seems
out
like there are
safely
none.
though. Going to head through the gate. While Shukitsu just goes ahead and finishes off this hazer goal very shortly.
Chat speculating very much invested as well as we are.
Yes, the red team would have to get the hazer, get the wall echo or shaded echo, and shaded pearl. Snipe the bingo win before Shukitsu can navigate filtration. Because unless Vivi's had a hazer in their stomach this whole time, Shukitsu's just going to get there first.
And Shukitsu is rushing.
Getting there as quickly as possible. In fact, don't believe there's a hazer in Outer Expanse, so I don't think Vivi could have one, sadly. And Shuketsu entering filtration. Just has to shelter here and bring the hazer in.
The sound of the gate might be the final sound we hear for this round.
Our final gate, yeah. Vivi doesn't appear to have a hazer, or she would be going down now. And Spark's heading towards the industrial gate, which would be sacrificing another goal.
I wonder what Brian is doing right now.
Yeah, and Spark entering the industrial gate. Handing that goal over for possibly a quicker route down, not knowing that Shuketsu's already in filtration. Now Reed would need 4 out of these last 5 goals, with Brian already nearly at the wall, and Shuketsu already at the hazer.
But with one of those being iterator related, I'm not sure if they would be able to do that even if Shuketsu got a big setback.
I think Red is not close enough to either the Neuron to Moon or blocking Shuketsu from winning it right now.
It's like Vivi's checking up on what they can do right now.
Yeah, but trapped in Subterranean with no hazer. It's a difficult situation to be in.
Brian, meanwhile, continuing to head up. Looks like they...
For all Brian
Might be
knows, Vivi
different
has
mood,
a hazer
actually.
and is about to win. Brian doesn't know yet that Shuketsu is far ahead.
Not quite sure what Brian is doing right now, but it looks like they might be trying to get something for Moon right now. Oh, they're getting the wall
Brian is
echo.
going to get the wall echo, then head to the Neuron
That's
for
what they're
Moon.
doing.
Which even that, getting those goals in would be enough points without
It would
Shuketsu
be.
getting this hazer.
Very good synergy on their part.
An excellent, a really good plan to make this win safe. Spark heading up to wall trying to get that echo, but still just Red team not even planning on the hazer. As Shuketsu gets closer and closer.
That's a very big gamble for what Red is doing right now.
Yeah, because Vivi doesn't have a hazer as far as we're aware.
I
And
suppose they're
she's been
banking on...
close. She's already been close to the pit, but hasn't gone to it.
I suppose
Well,
they're banking on
Shuketsu.
how uncommon the hazers are?
Well, Shuketsu is one room away now. I suppose Red has blocked every one of Shuketsu's goals, so they have no way of knowing where he's been.
That is very true.
For all they could just be assuming he's been trapped in Outer Expanse like Vivi was.
That is a very... Oh, that is a very good point, actually. Yeah, because Spark has been blocking off of most of Shuketsu's
Yeah.
options.
Shuketsu just followed Spark, getting all the goals a little behind, but now was in filtration. Shuketsu somehow not dying to mole lizards here.
That's the power of Monk for you.
Clearly. Lizard rep all the way. Just trying to navigate this difficult sub-region to finish off the bingo.
Meanwhile, with Brian, their orange lizard friend being nowhere to be seen for who knows how
Behind
long.
in Sky Islands, you can't bring an orange lizard with you. Cyans are the only ones that can even keep up. Shuketsu getting down to the bottom of this room, just has to reach the final room. And he
This
could
might be
close this out
over.
for blue team.
Because it does look like Shuketsu definitely knows where they're going.
Definitely, yes.
Lots of map knowledge despite how dark it
Even
is.
even with Brian getting this echo, Shuketsu throwing the hazer into the pit, it's a majority win for Blue either way. With Blue picking up 13 goals on this echo.
Right
But
now,
here
I
goes
think all the red
Shuketsu
can hope
about to
for
finish it.
is. Right now, I think
Shuketsu
all the
falls
red.
into the pit and dies.
Ooh.
But here goes the hazer. Shuketsu has to shelter and lock this in, and it's over. Just don't die to black lizards.
Looks like Shuketsu is feeling a bit antsy, definitely rushing.
Just
As fast
got to get to that shelter as fast as possible.
as fast as Monk's little legs can go. Meanwhile, Brian looks to be sheltering.
Brian is very close to that echo, going to pick that up, send Blue to 12 goals, and Shuketsu will shelter, which will be the 13th and a bingo. Although
So it
Shuketsu
does
might
look like
even
right
beat
now.
Brian to the shelter.
Does look like right now Spark has a similar idea though.
Spark has the same plan as Brian, but unfortunately won't be able to catch up.
That is, unless
And of
something very
course,
unfortunate
there's
were to
the
happen. Such as a
and of
vulture.
course there's the hazer goal.
Of course, the Hazer goal,
Which is-
absolutely.
Yeah, always the larger threat.
And right now,
Definitely
with
a good play by
essentially
Shuketsu
only
to head
black
down there.
lizards, Shu only has to worry about black lizards right now.
Just has to get to the top of this room, and that's the shelter. While Brian's
then with
almost at
Monk-
this echo now, which
Ooh.
which will leave Spark knowing that the plan hasn't worked.
And then with Monk being a much more passive character when it comes to lizards.
Having that naturally high lizard rep is going to help a lot.
Frankly,
And
I
has
don't
Brian
think
at
Shu
the
has
wall
anything to
echo.
worry about. Brian's at the
Brian's
echo.
at the wall echo. That brings Blue up to 12 goals completed as Shuketsu heads up to finish this hazer goal. But there's a black lizard still getting chased around.
Oh. It's a bit of a setback, but I think even with this,
It should be pretty safe, but these black lizards are still a bit scary when you're just trying to finish this.
oh, absolutely, especially with what's on the line currently for Shuketsu.
Definitely. Just even now, Brian can go for. Oh, Brian appears to have a bug where your game entirely freezes after picking up an echo.
Brian is in purgatory.
Brian will just have to wait for Shuketsu to enter this shelter and finish the bingo.
Oh, I wonder what's going on in both of their minds right now.
Well, fortunately, Blue is about to finish this bingo anyway, so
Very
Brian won't
fortunate.
have to worry.
Very fortunate, very lucky.
This won't have a major impact. As Shuketsu locks in the goal.
Brian is in fact in the timeout corner right
It
Cloud.
looks like it's going to announce it has a win by majority, even with the bingo on the board. It's the
And
funny
it
quirk of
is
how the mod
there.
works. And that's a win for Blue Team, as Brian stares into the blackness.
Brian has now escaped the void. Welcome back, Brian.
And that's the game.
Doing a little victory dance.
Hop into an arena, just run around for a bit.
Yes, Brian, go.
Oh, well placed to Blue Team. Shuketsu's location being an absolute mystery, I think really helped him there.
Oh, absolutely. I think that was a very good match. From
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams played really well. Spark getting all those goals really early on while Blue was just blocking Shuketsu's every attempt to collect something.
what was once good turned, well, very unfortunate.
Unfortunately, could not get that 100 points goal in time. And then Blue was just closer to the last goals.
It's a very good match. Very fun to watch.
Alright, thank you all for watching another bingo. An excellent job to Blue Team. And we don't have any matches scheduled in the next while, but make sure you watch out for when the next one is.
Yep, hope to see you all again
Goodbye.
soon. Goodbye.
Oh, and one more thing. We've just added a role in the speedrun server where you can opt into to get pinged when matches start now that we're out of our first round. So if you don't want to miss any more, that's a good thing to pick up.
You should definitely join.
Yep. Bye.
Goodbye.